This week on MacBreak Weekly, Rene Ritchie, Andy Ihnatko, Alex Lindsay. All three of the guys have their brand new iPad Pro. We'll talk about the screen and the camera. How good are they? It's all coming up next.
This is TWiT.
My iPad Pro, I maxed it out. I didn't pay any attention to delivery dates. It said June 2nd. I think it's going to come this week. That's what UPS says. They shipped it on May 22nd, but you guys already got yours. So, you got two. Is that the 11 and the 12?
White, Leo.
And they're both.
Yes.
Oh, you got the white Magic Keyboard. Ooh.
I can never eat Cheetos again. I can never not ever eat Cheetos again. I'm so petrified.
I'm seeing pictures of it. It looks beautiful. It really actually looks pretty, but you're right. It's going to be a real
Well, that's why you think ahead. If you buy the orange one to begin with,
already
orange. All the
Cheeto
Cheetos
safe.
and Doritos that you want.
It's the Cheetos Safe Edition. I'm going to use my old Magic Keyboard because I've heard now from a number of people it works okay.
Yes, it works fine.
But I did order the Logitech Combo Touch just to try it. So they just started shipping one for $12.9. That comes tomorrow.
For the audience, you have to.
I have to do it for you.
Yeah.
And you know what? When you see me with my iPad in a couple of weeks, you'll know which one I like because that's the one that'll be on it. But let me ask Alex, because you've got the 12.9, Alex?
I do.
What do you think of the mini LED screen?
So far, I've really enjoyed it.
It's not super bright. It's about 600 nits, I think, but the specular highlights go up to 1,000 nits, and so it's really HDR.
1600 or
1600.
HDR.
Wow.
Yeah, 1600 is the brightest, and it we've Charles, who we were talking about earlier,
Your colorist, yes,
says he says that it's he's comparing it to $11,000 monitor, and he says it's a little yellow. It's like a little, but
so it's not perfect from his point of view, and this is a guy who does this for a living.
Price. This is all he does,
yeah.
And so, but it's like he said, it's just super minor, and I think that because we're doing a lot of delivery in HDR, I think that where we're kind of going with it is that we think that this is going to be the one that a lot of us have as like, okay, look at that and make sure that it looks good. This will be your reference monitor. It's our portable reference.
Yeah.
Right now we're still having trouble getting it to basically connect back out to, we can't do sidecar right now from Resolve yet, which is we're just hoping that that'll get sorted out. But that's just, it's brand new. So we think that eventually, Blackmagic will give us some way to just have a direct link to it. Right now you can render stuff out and then look at it, but it's not a direct feed. And you can mirror over to it using Sidecar, but it's not flipping the bit for the HDR. So we're working on that, but it's I have to say it's as Apple often says, it's the best iPad ever. So it's the best iPad.
The question is not whether it's the best, but if it's how much better than last year's model is, I guess.
And I didn't have last year's. I have 2 years ago, which is now relegated over here to a control surface for my ATEM. So the it's a good one. It's really
that's
good.
a good use for it. That's a good.
Well, there's on the ATEM there's a piece of software that we're testing called MixFX Pro that basically does all the super sources inside of an ATEM, and so I'm gonna use it as a controller.
Do you have to have the ATEM Pro to do that, or will it work with the original ATEM?
Any ATEM.
Any ATEM.
Oh no! You
not
have
with
to have
my
the
Mini.
Extreme. Sorry, no, you have to have the
Streamer
Mini Extreme because you need something that's going to do. No, but it'll run. There's a bunch of iPad apps. There's Strata. There's MixFX Pro, and it'll do other things, with the Mini. But it just gives you a lot of the control, more of a touch surface. I still like having the physical surface, but this is one we're looking at. I'm not ready to recommend it yet because I haven't tested it enough. But there's an awful lot of people in our office that are
nice thing is
in office hours.
It's free to try, so you can.
Pretty exciting.
You can at least get a sense of it, and then it's $50 if you.
The only thing I want to add is just like a lot of almost all the coverage is like, should you upgrade from the last year's model? But like 90% of people don't even think about year over year upgrades. It's 4 to 7 years, I think, on iPads.
Yeah.
Even pros, like architects, it's enthusiasts, but it's not pros that upgrade. So I think the target market for this is 2015, 2017 iPad Pro owners, I think that's who Apple anticipates will upgrade to this one.
Yeah, I upgraded from a first generation iPad Pro 12.9. So this is exactly what this is exactly what I was waiting for, where everything is almost a revolutionary improvement, and that it creates more opportunities, more solutions, other than just simply, the camera's a little better. This number in this chart last year is slightly higher than this number in this chart this year. Yeah.
Actually, I'm very excited about the better camera. Is this the same camera now as in the iPhone Pro Max, or is it's pretty close?
The rear cameras? The rear cameras are always lagging behind. It's like a pet peeve of mine.
Yeah.
I just want iPad parity now, but nowhere. They've never been.
Yeah. I was taking selfies with it on Friday, and they're not. Yeah, it's not a camera, but it is they are advertising the front cameras as a pro camera. So is it as good as the
iPhone 11's cameras, Rene?
The individual sensors aren't as good, and there's not as many of them. It's it's fine. It's probably like an iPhone XS. Fine, but to me, it's this is a pro camera that a lot of people are going to buy for the viewport. It's a cost thing. Putting those camera systems in raised the price significantly, and they're we're not gonna. It's the same reason the 11-inch doesn't have the mini LED display. It adds $100 to the bill of goods, and they don't want to say, iPad Pro 11-inch starting at $999. And I totally get that. But have a Pro Max version that if you really want the cameras or something, you can do it.
So I was excited
because a snap-in module.
Halide has shipped a version for the iPad of their Halide software, and so I was kind of hopeful that this would be. I mean, not like I want to go around using it as a camera, but when I've got it,
exactly. And taking pictures with it is a very interesting experience. It really is like a view camera. And for me, the big upgrade, one of the other little, there are 11 or 12 different features that came out in the presentation, the keynote, that really got my attention. One of them was that it is a LiDAR camera, and so Alex has been. I can't remember what was the app that you were doing. You were recommending for LiDAR based Lycam.
Yeah, Polycam.
Right. And so it's as soon as the Boston Public Library opens up again, I'm going to steal every single bust they've got in there. It's just things you can do with this that I can't do with my non-LiDAR based cameras that I have.
Of course, I've got the iPhone, so I've got the better camera, but it is nice to have that viewfinder, as you say, Andy. It's like a view camera.
How 4K is good. If you want to use it for video, you're fine.
I was going to ask. So for video, it's
not as good, but for video,
it's good. Okay, and that's what Apple is pushing.
Vision, which is why? Give me Dolby. I have so many complaints.
You got an M1 in there for crying out loud.
Yeah,
you get the image signal processor, but you don't get the Pro Raw. You don't get the HDR.
That's a little disappointing.
I'm getting salty again.
Yeah, it's a little disappointing.
I'm not over the lack of a headphone port. If only Apple had the sort of caliber of engineers who could somehow shoehorn, just wheedle a headphone port, because that is a real bummer for me, because I have to buy the travel dock that I buy for it has to have a headphone jack, because otherwise I'm not going to totally obliterate that port that could be used for image capture, that could be used for power, that could be used for everything. It just seems like, again, table stakes. Why is that such a silly thing in the eyes of Apple? I don't get it.
I agree that a lot of us would just wish that they just turn the dial up on both the phone and the iPad. Just turn it up. Let's make something really, really great. I think that you'd find that there's an awful lot of people that will buy it.
I
don't want a gold version. I just want.
Yeah.
One of the most rewarding things I did during my first night of testing was as one of my former picks of the week is the CalDigit Thunderbolt hub, which I've got plugged into my M1 MacBook right now. I've got a screen plugged into it. I got 3 drives plugged into it. I got a card reader. I've got my keyboard. I've got my mouse plugged into it. And then I thought, well, I wonder if they say this is a Thunderbolt port. I wonder what would happen if I were to unplug this from my MacBook and plug it into my iPad. And well, golly gee, my iPad now has a keyboard, it has a screen, and now it has access to all these drives. The only thing that didn't work for some reason was this Microsoft mouse, but then I discovered that even when I just put a regular, just standard USB-A to USB-C adapter, it didn't work either. So maybe I haven't updated the settings yet. But that is some pretty sweet performance there. I'm pretty happy with it so far. And I'm really anticipating some surprises at WWDC. This is not a platform that Apple put together to make sure that Apple Arcade works better on an iPad. This is a platform they put together with, we have some things that we're not ready to talk about yet, but we want to make sure that next year you don't have to buy a whole new one of these in order to get the stuff that we're doing.
No ads, just the content. That's what you get when you join Club TWiT. You even get extras like TWiT Plus, our new bonus feed just for members, and exclusive access to the Club TWiT Discord community. Join now for just $7 a month and support TWiT as we continue to create top-notch podcasts you expect and deserve. We're just getting started, so be one of the first to join as we build Club TWiT from the ground up. You could be an early member. Go to twit.tv/clubtwit to learn more and sign up now. Thanks. Keep up with all the hottest tech news and gadgets. Visit twit.tv. There you'll be able to find and subscribe to all our tech shows. Thanks for watching Hands on Tech.